guys, allow me to officially welcome you to the filmmaker's journey, the FMJ. As usual, here we hold your hand through this filmmaking journey because we understand it's not that we understand the hustle and we know how hard it is for this filmmaking journey. That's why we decide to host different professionals in the industry so that they can come and share their knowledge and expertise to help you and make you equipped to either get you started. Yes, Ross, how are you? I can see you. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. I've never done anything on Instagram before. I very rarely use it.
Sorry, I can't hear you quite clearly.
I haven't used Instagram before.
Oh, sorry, it's your first time.
Yeah, I very rarely ever use it.
You know, sometimes technology can really bring different things, you know.
Yeah, oh sure. Many choices today.
Yeah, so, true. So, how are you, Ross?
I'm very bored.
Yes, and your second name, I don't know, is it Clarkson? Am I pronouncing it correct?
Yes.
Ross Clarkson.
Yeah.
You are a cinematographer, a director, and director of photography.
Yeah. And
anything else?
yeah, I also write scripts as well.
So you are also a scriptwriter too?
Yeah, I've written 12 scripts and just still trying to find someone who wants to make them.
Oh wow! And maybe you kindly care to share a little bit about how you were while growing up? How was your childhood like?
Well, sort of pretty normal. I was interested in photography maybe when I was around 10 or something. My father had a Super 8 camera, so he'd let me play with that a little bit, not too much.
Yes.
Then when I got older, because there's no internet, I'd call up all the TV stations. Or I saw a news crew one time, and that's the point where I figured out, oh, I would like to be a news cameraman. So for my school holidays, I'd call up the TV stations and go up there and carry tripods and all that type of stuff. And then when I was leaving school, they were changing from using film to video. So they were hiring some people, and I got a job. I started as a trainee editor sort of a week after I left high school.
Oh wow! So a week after you left the high school, you went straight away to a newsroom.
Yeah.
How was it? How was it working in a newsroom?
It was good. I became a cameraman when I was 19, and sort of I did that for like 6 years. And I mean, you learn a lot. I mean, that's where everything is handheld and things happen quickly. There's no rehearsal. You just got to go and figure out what's happening very quickly, which I think sort of helped in the whole action sort of deal. But then doing news, you get sick of seeing a lot of dead bodies and car accidents and all that type of stuff. So that's when I wanted to try and get out and see if I could try and get into movies.
Oh wow, and it was traumatizing, I know, meeting all these dead bodies. Maybe it's your first time, you are not used to. How was the experience?
You get sort of a twisted sense of humor.
Yeah.
But, it's the same for, people who are firemen or policemen or ambulance workers, whatever. That's, you get used to it. It's not pleasant, but you certainly understand how fragile life is. Just bang, you're dead. So, appreciate life.
Oh, and then the transition from the newsroom to the film industry. Kindly take us through that.
Then after I left the TV station, because then they started to invent corporate videos. So then I went and worked for doing some corporate videos for a couple of years, and I'm from Brisbane in Australia, and then they opened the Warner Roadshow Studios on the Gold Coast. So I went to see them, and they were starting to do the Mission Impossible TV series remake. And I went down and I saw the production manager, and I said, look, I'm a local loader here and whatever, and if you need me, here's my card and give me a call. And it was probably a couple of weeks later when he called me up and said, okay, look, we want you to be the second loader on second unit. And I went, okay, great.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got off the phone with him, I called up a makeup friend of mine and said, what does a loader do? Because I'd never touched film before. I mean, a camera is a camera, but I hadn't used film cameras. I didn't know exactly what to do. So the first day I turned up and I was being slow setting things up because I was watching what the other guy's doing. And I survived the first day, and I ended up full-time on it as a loader. But just in the first day working on it, I'd learnt more than the last 5 years. And that's when I just figured out I'm wasting my time doing what I'm doing. If this is what I want to do, I must do it because I've just been wasting all this time. And then I stuck with that. Then I think I was 30 is when I moved to Hong Kong. Work was not going well in Australia and whatever. And before there were quite a lot of Australians running around Asia doing commercials and things, whatever. So I went for a trip to try and find where to go to try and get a job, be it, Hong Kong or Thailand. And an actress I worked with, she introduced me to Salon Films in Hong Kong. And they said, maybe we can give you a job. We don't know. So I went there anyway. I ended up renovating my boss's house for 4 months before he gave me a job. Stripping the walls off and everything and stuff. Then he gave me a job, and in the first year I did probably 20 commercials. And because they're also a big rental company, so you get on when you're not actually shooting, you can play with all the toys and use remote heads and steady cams and stuff and all this type of thing. So my learning went up a lot. And I was shooting 80% of every job they had. And then I left them in 1997. And that's when I went freelance, and that's when I met Ringo Lam. And I did some underwater stuff for him, for his movie Full Alert. And we got on well together. And after that, he calls me up and says, do you want to shoot my next movie? And I went, sure, why not? And I said, look, I haven't shot a movie before. And he said, well, have a go. And I said, okay. And that's when I started working with Ringo and tripping around with him, either shooting for him or as a camera operator.
And how was the experience working with him?
Well, he actually just passed away last year. No, end of last year, maybe like 2 years ago. He passed away. He very much cared about the camera and the camera movement. He considers the camera another actor because, how whatever it does is what the audience feels. So I learned a lot about camera emotions from him. He did have a reputation for quite a bad temper, which he did. But then again, I just didn't bother listening to him, so whatever. But he took me to Canada then that's where I met Vandamme, and then started doing a lot of jobs with Vandamme as well. And Vandamme took me to Bulgaria, where
Yes.
I met Millennium Films, and started.
Yes.
Then I sort of stayed in Bulgaria for something like 6 years, working with them, a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
because Millennium then they had a deal with
Yeah.
Blockbuster, and they wanted people who would finish a schedule. So
Yes.
you must be quick. And
Yeah.
same as in Hong Kong, everything is go 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 go. So you sort of develop speed.
Yes.
Where a lot of people say the film industry, it's all art and art and art, and it's like, well, I don't think I've ever worked on one of those jobs before. My jobs are just go
Yeah.
go 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 go. So.
Yeah. And Rose, that brings me to my favorite question. How is it working with Vandamme, the big name, you know?
I know way too many things about that guy.
Eh,
he's he's a lot of fun. He's passionate about what he's doing. He can still kick faster than people can punch.
yes, yes.
He doesn't like starting work early in the morning. So if he can start at 11 o'clock, then he's quite happy about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've done 6 or 8 movies with him or something. I'm not really sure.
Oh, and Rose, rumor has it that he was in your wedding,
Yeah, yeah. We're in the middle of shooting in hell in Bulgaria, and
and that the schedule had to be, rescheduled because of your
yeah,
wedding.
yeah. The whole crew was turning up, and everyone was drunk, so we couldn't work the next day. But Van Damme, he actually asked me. He said, "Oh, can I be your best man?" I went, "Dude, sure. Cool wedding photos."
Hey, Rose, having Vandamme as your best man in your wedding, how is the feeling?
Well, I had to hire security, so because he was coming around all the time.
I know, I know.
No, but
And
we used to go out all the time with him and his family, and I know his
uh,
kids, and well, now his kids are really big. Even
yes,
at that point, did a little bit of babysitting for them and whatever. And no, he's a very nice guy.
yeah. And Rose, your favorite genre is action,
Yes.
and you know how to pass your emotions with cameras in action movies the best.
Well, the camera movement can work in any film.
Yeah,
So not it can be emotional in any type of film, not just action.
yeah.
Because I haven't done an action film for quite a few years now.
Uh-huh.
Just the film industry keeps changing and people change, and then producers and they die and directors they die, so you got to keep moving and trying to find different people, and getting older doesn't help. So
Yes, and Rose, I have come across filmmakers who don't really recognize the cinematography department. How important to you is this cinematography in a film?
extremely important. That's what everyone watches.
Yes, true.
If
And
you can't control the lighting, the framing, the camera movement, if it's distracting from the story, well, you're going to lose the
yeah,
audience straight up.
true, true. And Rose, how did you get your first gigs in cinematography?
Just by watching everybody I worked with, because also I did just a lot of camera operating and working with
Yeah,
other cinematographers. So just watching and learning all of them, because you can't.
yes,
There's not one setup that works for everything. You have to adjust per location, per time of day, per how much time do you have, or you have to keep
yeah,
changing everything you think all the time. So there's no one simple formula that works. And also now the equipment has changed. So the cameras are getting lighter,
Eh,
going digital. Digital has a different look to film. I mean, at least on film, you always got a big budget or a good, decent budget. Now on video, it's so cheap. You know, they want cheaper, 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 faster, 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 but still you want to create a good atmosphere.
yes. And a lot of filmmakers from this part of the world are out there asking maybe how I am a cinematographer, where do I start from getting jobs in cinematography? What would you tell them?
It's not easy. Shoot as much as you can, put as much as you can on YouTube where people can see it or whatever, and just keep promoting yourself. Because I mean, on YouTube, there's a lot of great guys for what they're doing. Okay, you know, they're all doing
Yes,
everything themselves. Now, how can they actually work with other people? And you know, you're not just shooting everything in slow motion, but you have to do things. And if you're working for Sony or whatever, they want a specific look and certain restrictions. So you have to adjust to what they want. You just can't
yeah.
do what you want. Because normally when I'm
Let's
shooting a
talk
film,
about,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, Ross, let's talk about capture. It took you 18 months to shoot it.
It took 15 days to shoot it, but it took that time to finish it.
Oh, how was the experience shooting captured?
It was good. It took a while to write it because of the financial restrictions, which I had to pay for it basically by myself. To find the right people around to help, I pretty much just had a crew of 4 people because Hong Kong is a very visual place. So I was picking locations that look good. And just by sticking him in front of that, it hopefully makes it look more
Yeah,
expensive. Working with a storyline that I know, be it a photographer, is he a good guy or is he a bad guy? So go mystery and thriller, which doesn't cost money, and just develop it that way and try and make it
yeah,
look pretty and work on people's emotions. Because I couldn't afford to do an action film; that cost way too much. And then I got
yeah.
the person doing the music track is on deferment. The person who did all the sound design is on deferment, so that's helping. It
Yes.
got released in April, so see how it goes.
And someone pirated it, Ross?
It ended up on a pirate site. It came up on there was some site saying that America's made all the new releases free because of the quarantine and whatever. And first it's like, how can that be possible because of all the copyrights and whatever? And
It's the same thing.
I told the distributor, and then
Yeah.
they actually tracked them down, and they got the whole website shut down.
Oh, what is really wrong with pirate? What is their problem really?
Pirating, well,
Yeah.
then I will get no money, and I'll never make another film. You're killing the people who
How?
make it. If you own a shop,
Yeah, true, true.
if you own a shop, you're paying rent, and if you just give away all your products,
Yes.
you're dead.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's one thing for Sony, which is such a big company, they can afford
Yeah.
to lose something, but for the small
Yes.
independent people, um, you're dead.
True.
And really, you know,
Which brings me to my,
it's no respect
yes, Rose.
it's no respect for the filmmaker.
True.
It's you know, so
And Rose, there's a bit of a problem with your sound.
Still now? You can't hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. So, Ruth, how do you normally handle your funding?
Well, for that, I funded it myself.
Yeah.
It's just, I've tried finding investors for a very long time and no luck at all. So, and it was just to a point where some friends of mine, they'd made their own films, and no
Yes.
one's going to give me a chance to do it unless I do it. So
Yeah.
I just had to design a film that I could afford to make myself.
True. And then how do you then handle distribution thereafter?
I I I got a distributor which is called A Court International. I
Yes.
sent the trailer and a little story about the film, and they had a look and they
Yeah.
were interested straight away. I sent it to quite a few companies. You have to approach the companies and send them, and they were happy to take it straight away. And you know, it's on a percentage per view base, so see what happens.
And you know, that is what many filmmakers from this other side find a bigger problem. Maybe can we dwell there a second? How apart from that one, is there any way you can maybe advise filmmakers who are finding it difficult in distribution?
You have to, the days of, say, pre-sales are very much gone, unless you have a famous actor in it, then that would help you find a distributor who might put some money in or guarantee some money. But otherwise,
Yes.
you need to make a decent product that people want to watch.
Yeah.
Because if you make 90 minutes of garbage, still you're not going to get
Yeah. Yeah.
no one's going to watch it. So
Yeah. True.
whatever money or whichever way you go around it, the story must be good.
Yes.
It still must
True.
meet this level, which actually today with the equipment and everything available,
Yes. Yeah.
I shot my movie on a 1DX Mark II.
Oh.
The whole movie's just on a Canon, all autofocus.
Yeah.
It was still 4K, so they accept all of that. I probably used 3 LED lights, I think.
Yeah.
Depend.
Yeah.
And that was it. Oh, and I had 2 radio mics and a boom mic because you must have good
Oh.
sound.
Yeah.
Sound is basically more important than the picture.
Yeah.
If they can't hear it, they
So
won't watch it.
Yes. So once you have a good film, Rose, a lot of people will ask, now I have a good film, I want distributed. Where do I start? What
Okay.
advice would you give such a person?
You can go on something like, say, the American Film Market website,
Yes.
and they can have a
Yeah.
list of all these companies.
Yes.
Make a trailer and start sending it to them. You know, you got your trailer, you got your poster, and just start sending them the links. Get them to look at it. But you can easily find companies on the internet.
Yes.
And just
Yeah.
start sending it to them and see what they say.
And what would you say about online distribution, Rose?
There's
The POD, yeah.
there's a lot of different varieties and different versions. I
Yeah.
mean, but also
Yes.
you don't want only online distribution because there's still
Yeah.
direct TV. There's still a lot of cable networks. Which
Yes.
you can't reach if you're purely online. And
True.
depends who the distributor online is. Okay, if it's Netflix, they will just pay you a sum, of
Yeah.
which I believe now they're paying less than what they used to because they're making so much of their own product.
Yeah.
Amazon, you can either do a very little deal with them where they only pay you per view unless you have some name in it where they will then start to pay more. So depending if you're on a pay-per-view or a buyout type of deal.
Yes.
Because I'm on a pay-per-deal type of thing. So it's really up to who watches it is to if I ever get any money back. So if anyone pirates it, I'm going to get zero back, and that's the end of. And then I'm not going to do it anymore. So.
And then on funding, Rose, have you ever tried Indiegogo, and what can you say about it?
I tried
it. And Kickstarter as well.
Yeah, I tried it and had zero luck whatsoever. Nothing.
Would maybe.
Absolutely nothing.
So for you, it's not really. Maybe it's the marketing strategy or something before the launch.
You need to be very much an internet web connected type of person to get that going, or to get somebody in your movie who has 1 million followers, and then they put it out, and that can help. So because a lot now in casting is they want to see how many followers you have. It's not it's not necessarily just are you a famous actor, but if you got a couple of million followers, that can help. So
and then on piracy, Rose, maybe what can you advise many filmmakers out there experiencing the same problem? This piracy thing, it's a thorn in the flesh.
You can't stop it.
So they should just learn how to live with it.
You can't stop it. It's the only people who can stop it are the people who watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, the people who watch it, they'll say, well, I would never buy your film anyway. Okay, well then just don't watch it.
Yeah.
Fair is fair. If you'd never pay for it to watch it, well, don't watch it.
True. True. Rose, your advice for upcoming filmmakers?
It's difficult. No, it is an extremely difficult, selfish business. I've been married 3 times. I change countries all the time. It's extremely difficult for relationships. You have to devote everything you have to it, and there's no guarantee. And still, because as the older I'm getting, it is more difficult for me to find a job. Because, they always want young people. Oh, young people are cheaper or whatever, but nobody even asks my price, and it's all video. Oh, it's video. Anyone can shoot it. Okay, well, if anyone can shoot it, then what are you doing? So it's a mentality of producers and different things. It is difficult. And also, yes, the equipment has made things more accessible, but it's made it more accessible to more people. So you have more competition.
Yeah, true.
So what you do must be good to get above the others.
True.
And personally, I would say do not make a short film. You can practice on YouTube or whatever, but
sorry, yes.
Don't make a short film. You gone again?
Yeah, there's some technical hitch. Sorry, but I can hear you.
For the time and effort you put into a short film, make a
Yes.
product that you can sell. Because still on Netflix or Amazon, there's a lot of garbage.
Yeah,
But at
true.
least then that is giving you a credit or something or pushing you somewhere. So even if it's not going to be great, make 90
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Don't do a short film unless it's going to be phenomenal, because there's more people doing short films. So you've got
Yeah.
more competition. So at least you cut the competition down a bit because
Yeah.
you're doing 90 minutes. So that's what I'd go for, is make a film. Work on your story, mate. Get it up to 90
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
You got to be in
Uh,
the race to be in the race.
True. Yes, Rose, thank you for dropping. We really appreciate, and I believe many filmmakers out there will gain from this. And maybe just a quick get in touch with you in case they want to view your work, or rather, just get in touch.
Sure.
How can they get in touch? Maybe
Oh,
Facebook,
how to get in
Twitter.
touch? Facebook?
Yes. Yes.
On Facebook, that's easy enough.
Yes. So what I'll do, I will post your Facebook URL in the description of this video on my YouTube channel. Is that okay with you?
Sure. Yeah, it's up there for
And
anybody, so
you're not on Twitter?
no, I don't do Twitter. I do very little
Oh.
social thinging and stuff. I'm too busy trying to find a job.
You really have a good sense of humor, you know. So, Rose, thank you for dropping by. It has been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And I have a lovely here. This end, it's already around 9:30 p.m. I think it's noon there.
No, it's 7:30.
Oh,
I'm I'm
7:30.
I'm in the UK at the moment.
Oh, so it's 7:30 in the
PM.
evening.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. So I'll say have a lovely evening,
Thank you very much. You too.
and thank you for having you on the show.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. See you. And guys, we come to the end of the show. That has been Clarkson Rose. If you have not subscribed already, please remember to subscribe and also press that notification bell so that you get notified each time we upload a video. Till next time, see you.